mean, sure, you can have a lot of support from the people around you, but at the end of the day, 90% of the battle is in your head.
Is in your head.
Yeah.
It's literally in your head.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, yeah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Call Us Daddy, where we get real with men who've had to work a little bit harder sometimes to find their voice. In this episode, we'll be speaking with someone who's had a condition he's had to deal with for a long time, and now he's big enough and strong to share with us, which is, of course, Tourette syndrome. Please help me welcome here this time, Samuel. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure to have you too, and thank you so much for coming on this episode.
No problem.
I think a lot of people, when they hear the word Tourette syndrome, they have certain, associations with it. They have certain, myths or impressions of it. But obviously, you're someone that's lived with it. Can you share with us what exactly is Tourette syndrome, and how did you first, get diagnosed with it, or how did you first knew you had it?
Yeah, so simply put, Tourette syndrome it's a neurological disorder which results in uncontrollable movements, or tics for short.
Okay.
Yeah. So how I was diagnosed was that I was like 6 years old.
Okay.
And I remember I was in like kindergarten, and my kindergarten teacher started noticing me like speaking a bit differently.
Okay.
So in a way where like I would my volume would kind of fluctuate up and down. So like certain words I would just like, I would speak louder. Yeah, which was kind of odd because I've never had this issue before.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up. So
Well, you're only 6 years old. So
yeah, I mean, well,
not that much time yet.
Yeah, I mean, that was according to my mom.
Okay,
but, yeah,
that's so cute. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So she brought this issue up to my mom, and my mom, she managed to find a pediatrician.
Okay.
That pediatrician was really experienced with neurological disorders. Yeah, and so he diagnosed me with Tourette's.
Okay.
Yeah. How it feels like to have Tourette's is kind of like imagine you're on the train, and you're in a room full of people, and you have to sneeze. You can kind of suppress it for a while, but eventually you have to sneeze. Yeah. Now, and Tourette's is kind of like that, but like multiplied.
Yeah. So Samuel, can you share with us? I think once you were diagnosed, let's say with this condition, how did your pediatrician, or how did you go about managing it?
Initially, my Tourette's was mild.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I was diagnosed, it wasn't like much of an issue. It's just more of like I would have certain like head jerks, head movements.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that hindered my ability to learn or go through school.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think my pediatrician, he recommended a gluten-free diet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
does gluten have any effect on your neurological?
In theory, he believes so. Again, there's like different schools of thought.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I mean, so the issue with Tourette's or neurological disorders is that it's so individual, and it's triggered by so many different factors that it's hard to pinpoint like what causes it.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a lot of like theories out there, and I think back then, I guess the gluten-free diet did work for me growing up. Yeah, but I guess when I reached 16, it kind of,
When you were 16 years old, it kind of I wouldn't say became more pronounced, or it kind of became more, amplified.
Yeah.
Was there a certain instance that happened? Were you getting more recurring, tics, or more violent tics, or more violent reactions to it?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I wish I knew, but so how I realized that it got worse was that I remember I was taking a mock exam.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this was like at the start of the year, and normally I mean like up to like 15 years old, I had no problem sitting in like an examination hall with everybody. Yeah. So that's how like mild my tics were.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I was 16, I realized that I just like the sneezing, back to the sneezing analogy.
Yeah.
Like I had to like clear my throat this time. And initially I thought okay, it's fine. Maybe it's just one of those like bad days. But it like throughout the 2-hour paper, I just kept clearing my throat. And afterwards, my form teacher, I mean, back then we didn't explain to her that I had Tourette's because we didn't feel the need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So she came up to me and she asked me, oh Samuel, are you okay? I think you should see a doctor. Like you've had like have you had like a sore throat for a while? And I think like back then I played it cool. I was like, oh yeah, I seen a doctor. Like no big deal. We'll be gone in like a week or two.
Yeah, of course.
So I was hoping it would
just go away. Yeah, of course.
I mean,
did it get worse then from there? Or?
Yeah, I started getting more pronounced. Yeah.
And like how did it manifest itself? I guess you had to clear your throat more? Were there more tics? Or
yeah,
just
so
like...
the intensity and the frequency were increased. So when I was young, I had like a small head jerk, but so like when I was 16 and when it got worse, it became more obvious. Like it's more like I would like move my entire head back, like jerk my entire head back. It's almost like whiplash.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. That's when my family and I we decided, okay, we need to like tell the school about this because if not, I'm gonna get in trouble. For something that I can't control. Yeah.
But at that time, during when you were age 6 to age 16, right? Did you continually see like let's say a therapist or a physician about it?
Okay, personally, I would say if you think you have Tourette's, you should definitely go and see a neurologist first. I believe I saw a neurologist at SGH, or I actually still see him from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he was the one who helped me like write the letters.
MCs.
MCs and letters for extra arrangements. Yeah. And I believe medication-wise, the most common medication for Tourette's is haloperidol.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the most commonly administered.
Do you take that right now then, or?
No, I'm off haloperidol because I mean for me I realized that medication didn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and it actually like as with like antidepressants, it kind of after a while it worsened my mood and then it's like a vicious cycle. Yeah, because you lose the interest to do things, and then that coupled with like your external events like bullying, and then you fall into depression, and it's a vicious cycle because like your mood affects your Tourette's, and your Tourette's affects your mood.
Did you ever get bullied and stuff though too?
I did. I think back then when I was 16. Yeah, I think back then there wasn't that much awareness of Tourette's. Yeah, so there were some of my schoolmates who noticed it.
Did they know what you had, or they just thought you were just weird?
I believe it's what you mentioned. They probably didn't realize or didn't know like what Tourette's was. Yeah. It was a very different like landscape like back then. Yeah. So
especially at that age too.
Yeah.
You're young. You just see someone that maybe has a condition or is exhibiting himself in a certain way that's just not. They just like, oh, that's weird. They're teasing him too.
Yeah.
I know you also did some deep brain stimulation therapy.
Yeah.
That's also another type of treatment that can be done though too.
Yeah.
Was that effective in helping you? I think corral, or helping you, I think, temper down the effects of Tourette's.
So actually, I had the deep brain stimulation surgery last year.
Oh, surgery.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I have a pacemaker here.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So right now I have neurostimulators implanted in my brain.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 2 electrodes implanted in the area of the brain which controls movement.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of acts as like a gateway, like so it blocks the unwanted signals, which is the tics, while still allowing me to move regularly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So since you've had this, I thought it was just like some radio frequency waves.
No.
Oh, this is actually full on.
Yeah,
this is like full on.
yeah.
You're like part robotic then, right? Huh?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
Has that helped you a lot?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I've had this pacemaker for like I guess slightly over a year.
Oh, only a year, not that long ago. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually I'm actually still quite surprised with the results. Yeah, I mean,
are you happy with it?
I'm happy. I'm very satisfied. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. To go through this surgery, I had to go through like many steps. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
in order to be approved for it, or in
Yeah.
order to be like, okay, this person is justified in having this, because it's probably It's a pretty evasive surgery.
Yeah.
Invasive surgery.
Yeah.
What led you to want to get the surgery? To go this far? Were you getting some severe, a lot of issues with the Tourette's?
Yeah. I reached a point where I had to go back to the hospital again because my tics were so bad that I couldn't sleep. And
I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, and I had my tics were so violent where like I was hurting myself, and I couldn't hold a cup of water. Yeah.
And how frequent would it be? Like all day long, or would it just be, let's say, just based on I think your stimuli, unless you're being nervous, your mood, or could it just happen? Was it just any time, or would it be based on the situation you're in?
I think at the worst point of my life, I had tics almost throughout the entire day, like very violent tics.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was cooped up in my room. I couldn't walk out of the room. I couldn't get out of bed.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
Oh, I know it got that bad.
Yeah.
Wow, because you seem totally fine now.
Yeah.
But that's of course because you've had this this surgery done, this treatment done.
Yep.
How long did you live with this condition where you had these severe bouts of Tourette's?
I believe like the full body tics got. I think they came around like December of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, so from December to I think around April 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some days where I felt better. It wasn't like full body, but maybe I could just walk out for like a bit. Yeah, walk out of the room for a bit. Try my best to take a glass of water. Yeah, maybe I could hold a glass of water that day. Yeah, but it was a really tiring and painful process.
My heart goes out to you too. That's I know is that because I see you now. I'm like, he seems totally fine. I can imagine. But for you to get to that stage, right? It must have been reached a very very severe level of severity too.
Yeah,
I think to that point where you're willing to elect, to do surgery to try and whatever it takes at this point though.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure it must be so difficult for your parents also. When you were 16, when you became 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, did this slowly just start getting worse and worse?
Yeah, yeah. So it slowly started getting worse. But I think back at that, I think those back during when I was like 17 to 20. Firstly, I guess I didn't know about deep brain stimulation.
Exactly.
Even if I did know about it, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because my brain wasn't fully developed yet. So when I was 17 to around maybe 19, I was still a bit conscious about it. But I remember like when I hit 20, and I think when COVID struck, I had a lot of time to think about living with this condition, and I went through a lot of ups and downs. But I remember one day like something just clicked in me, and I realized that okay, what if I started like actively like telling people that I have Tourette's even before like instead of having them ask me are you okay, like why are you doing this? Yeah, so
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that having those kind of decisions, right?
Yeah,
and then like either having a bout or having these tics manifest themselves, and it was like this guy's, because there's a certain stigma with it though too.
Yeah,
I think people are sometimes very just very callous, very unfeeling, very unsentimental. They're very insensitive. They joke around about it, but I think to live with it is no joke, right? You watch it in movies sometimes though too. They pretend to have someone with Tourette's though too. Or I see it sometimes on social media. Some attractive women with Tourette's, and then they're talking and they're having all these tics come out and stuff there too.
And their tics are like cute-ish.
Yeah, cute. It's not like seriously violent. You know. Do you think that's helping the perception or impression of Tourette's, or do you think they're just using it as a way to garner more followers and stuff?
I don't jump to conclusions. Maybe they really do have Tourette's, and I think what is posted on social media is very curated. Super curated. Yeah. Yep. Maybe what they post is only like 10% of what you see. It's only the tip of the iceberg. In terms of awareness, I am glad that more people are using like TikTok and like Instagram to spread awareness about Tourette's. I think I have felt the difference when I met
new people.
New people. I have, and I tell them, I have Tourette's, and they go, I've seen it on TikTok. So
No more need to go for a dictionary,
Yeah,
encyclopedia. All our information is from social media.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Super curated, super subjective, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I mean, like I can't deny it. The awareness is there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say they're educated, at least they're informed, right? At least in the past, you might tell people you have Tourette's, like, what is Tourette's, right? They don't know what Tourette's is.
Yeah.
But now people know. I hear you're a student.
Yeah.
Do you still have any, I guess, I wouldn't say any relapses, or do you have any more tics still, or is it dumb?
Yeah, I think I definitely have days where I'm more stressed than others, and I think my tics do flare up from time to time, but it's nothing like before.
Oh, nothing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, before, if you couldn't even sleep, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you're just, I don't want to say that, but you're ticked off.
Yeah.
You're just completely just going off.
Yeah.
I can imagine that must be so difficult. But I also know what I really want to share with everyone else too is that you're also a photographer.
Yeah.
And I think photography, I love photography too myself. I love being shot at more than like shooting. But I think with you, I know you're how did that come about? And how's your relationship with the photography and Tourette's? Has it been any form of therapy for you too?
I actually picked up photography around late 2020. I was studying media back then.
Okay.
We had like an assignment on the basics of photography. Yeah, so I mean back then I didn't have a camera, so I followed my friends along. I used my phone, and I think some of them they were like hobbyists, like photographers. I followed them around, and I learned from them, and I thought, oh, okay, photography isn't something that I initially thought it was. Yeah, because before I ventured into photography, I was the kind of guy, I was the typical why would I spend $10,000 on a camera when I can use my phone? Yeah. After that assignment, I thought, oh, hey, this kind of interesting. So I saved up a little bit of money, and I bought my first small camera for like around 900, less than 900.
What was your very first camera?
Yeah, it was a Sony A6000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And then what do you like to shoot? Do you like to shoot like what? Plants, people, buildings?
I like to shoot portraits.
Portraits, okay.
Yeah.
Of people?
Yeah, people.
Okay.
For me, I like kind of posed or more creative concept.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on what I feel like shooting that day. I guess sometimes I do like your standard like headshots, but there are times where I like to explore. I like to explore with like things like prisms or like different lights. Yeah,
that's why I say when I meet anyone who's gonna take a picture, I think life and pictures all about lighting and angles.
Yeah.
The way it's lit up and the way your angles is day and night. Literally in terms of how the shot's gonna turn out, which I'm sure you know very, very well though too. But let me ask you, how has photography been some form of, I think, therapy for you too, in treating or helping you with your Tourette's too?
I think the first thing I noticed after I started photography was that I was looking up more often. Yeah. So in a way, like before I picked up photography, when I had to travel from point A to point B, like it really was like point A to point B, and then I would, because of my lack of self-confidence, I would look down at my steps, and then like, to me, traveling was really like traveling. I need to get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time. Yeah.
In a straight line, okay?
Yeah, straight line.
Are you talking walking or driving? You're talking like...
walking, driving. Okay, I don't drive, but so public transport even. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think after I picked up photography, I think photography has taught me to slow down and look up and appreciate like the finer things in life, the small details, that matter.
I think just being in that moment, right? I think trying to frame and capture the shot.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of slows things down though too, right?
Yeah.
From a neurological perspective, I think too, it just helps kind of calm things. You think?
That could be the case, but my theory is that when I'm doing something I enjoy, I'm focused.
Okay, you're focused.
Yeah, I'm focused and I'm really just absorbed and I'm,
that moment.
Yeah, in that moment. Yeah, it's like when I'm behind the camera, it just feels like I'm like everything is
in that.
Yeah, in that frame.
In that frame right
there. All I have to do is I just have to focus on what's in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you? I think when you're doing this, when you're shooting things, let's say you're shooting someone or on a job, or let's say Have you ever had any instances where you've had, I think, a relapse? You've had Tourette's too.
I mean, there are definitely times where I've had like some tics during shoots.
Okay, but nothing
Yeah,
severe, right?
nothing too severe. I think I think the people who I've shot for they are very understanding and they're very supportive.
Yeah.
I actually feel that Tourette's acts like a filter for me, because if like putting yourself out there as a photographer and I have Tourette's, so like those people who don't believe that you can do photography with Tourette's, they won't come to you in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
So
good for you, right?
Yeah,
Just one less, one higher barrier to entry.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then I don't need to see you though too.
yeah.
The whole topic is like, wow, here's a photographer, who's actually trained and actually has a passion for it and is skilled, but also has Tourette's. So automatically, I'm sure people are gonna crack jokes about it though too.
Yeah.
Like, how can you take pictures if he's got these tics?
Yeah,
It's like, like things
Yeah.
that, I think having these involuntary muscle contractions, stuff like that though too. I mean, I would love, hopefully we can get some of your work, we can share it on this podcast also.
Sure.
I'd love to see it and use this as a platform, let people know that you can, maybe you can't cure it, but actually you can live with it and I think, prevail with this, with these conditions too.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of people that also have Tourette's other than you too? Or let's say someone knows someone that has Tourette's, or what can they do? Like, what advice you have for them in order of like, for them to come out, or what can they do to treat it? Obviously what you've done is probably a little bit more extreme based on your situation. But for someone, let's say with a minor case, a moderate case, or more severe case, what type of advice or could you give to them?
Take it one step at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think living with Tourette's there are definitely going to be days where it feels like, oh, this is the hardest thing in the world and I can't overcome it. Like the fact is, like for me, the reason why I chose photography, I chose to name myself like Tourette Shoots is because when I look back and when I'm feeling down and when I feel like I can't do anything because of my Tourette's, like I scroll down my page and I see all the work that I've done previously and it's there. So I have friends who have Tourette's but they do like dragon boating. I also have friends who do like calisthenics. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say just take it one step at a time. Find a small group of people or family members who you can confide in. Yeah, I think support is also very, very important. Yeah.
I think for you, let's say photography, then you have friends that do calisthenics, that do workout or dragon boat. I think when they're in their element too, let's say when they're doing, let's say your passion is photography. My passion, even though I have Tourette's, I still want to live my life.
Yep.
Let's say I like to do calisthenics, I like to do high rocks, I go work out, or I do dragon boating. Do you think the probability of having, let's say, having tics, or having any of the symptoms of it is lower when you're in your element doing your thing? Or do you think, let's say, when they're dragon boating or when they're, let's say, in the gym working out, is there still a possibility of getting let's say, tics or getting just these involuntary muscle contractions?
It depends based on individual.
Okay.
But from what I've experienced personally and from also what I've heard, when you're focused and when you're doing things that you like, I don't think the tics are as severe. I think your mental fortitude and mental resilience is also very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think or if you have the mindset that I'm not gonna let my tics get the better of me, then then that's like half the battle won already. Yeah.
You have to be willing. But
Yeah.
I can imagine, because it was funny because we had another guest earlier on and our major focus was on mental health, mental wellness, especially for men, because this is Call Us Daddy and everything.
Right.
I can imagine, I think, living with this, I think at the age of 16, where the symptoms became more amplified and I think just more, apparent. I can imagine, I think from a mental health standpoint, that must have been very, very trying for you too.
Yep.
Would you have any thoughts, would you really, of depression or any suicidal thoughts? Or I guess, was it just like, why me? Like, why do I have to deal with this? I think, I'm sure your parents are super understanding, they love you to death, but let's say amongst your peers or colleagues, I can imagine it must have been a difficult time.
Yeah, it definitely is a difficult condition to have, and especially coupled with the mental health issues that it may bring.
Yeah.
I have been through like depression and depressive stages, and also like I've also had my fair share of suicidal thoughts.
What's driven you or kept you going? Like I gotta be on top. I am in control right now, though, too, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure we all have those moments of weakness and everything too. But it's important. I think it's great that you can come out and even say that. It's very, very empowering. I think very inspiring for our viewers too.
On days where it's really, really bad and I cannot do anything, I think the mentality that I adopt is really like okay, I am in this situation now, and if I have to take it minute by minute, I'll take it minute by minute. Like for me back then, there was no alternative. I mean, sure, you can have a lot of support from the people around you, but at the end of the day, 90% of the battle is in your head.
Is in your head.
Yeah.
It's literally in your head.
Yeah.
But I think when you're going, let's say you have like a more severe case. When you're going, let's say these tics, are they painful at all, or is it's painful too?
Yeah, they hurt lah, and
oh shoot.
Yeah, there are times where I've had like scratches on my body, and I've kneed myself in the jaw accidentally before because of my tics. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's all involuntary too, right?
Yeah, it's all involuntary.
When you're actually going through those motions, it doesn't hurt, but I think sometimes just by access the point of contact too, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's I wish I could say like, oh, like do this, do that, and then they're like this is the solution, and
one size fits all.
Yeah, one size fits all. Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah, but
there isn't, right?
Yeah, there
obviously
isn't.
You go case by case, and I think you are just a great case of someone that's been able to, I think, not just endure it, but also prevail and live with it.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing photography now, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know you're a student too.
Yeah.
And what do you study? You're studying business?
Yeah, I'm studying business.
Business, okay. Yeah. And then as you get older now that you have this treatment, do you see it, is it for the rest of your life? Or do you have to replace it? Or?
Yeah, so the neurostimulator is with me for the rest of my life.
Okay.
So the battery, I'll have to replace it like once every 15 years.
15 years, okay.
Yeah.
So they have to open it up. Can they just like
just
okay, they have like like MagSafe. They can just do a MagSafe. Put your Apple Watch.
Wait, that's
in the future.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, they'll save you a lot of work.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I guess if there's anything you want to share with our viewers too, I think right now, I think it's been very, very inspirational. I think for anyone, I think not even just Tourette's, just living with certain conditions or certain symptoms or different pain, I think to see you, it's just so moving for me though too.
I think
I'm sure your parents will be so proud of you though too, and say that, wow. I mean, I feel for them as a parent myself, as a father.
Yeah.
I think all we really want for our children is to see them happy and healthy. And I can imagine, for them, what can I do for Samuel, to see you? I think hopefully when you're young, you see maybe you have you have symptoms of let's say Tourette syndrome. But then when you're age 16, then it became more serious when you're age 21, 22. Like, I'm sure the last thing you ever wanted to do was to do this deep brain stimulation, pacemaker, neurostimulator thing though too. But it was like, 到这个地步的, we gotta do something, right? Because I can imagine at that point your mental state, your mental wellness is probably not very well at that point. But right now you seem so calm, cool, and collected.
My advice to those like struggling with Tourette's or with neurological conditions, right now I think to them I would say like take it at your own pace, and if you have to take it day by day, there's no shame in admitting that, oh, I have this condition, and it doesn't make you less of a person than anybody else.
Very, very well said. And what's your handle, your Instagram handle for your photography?
Oh, it's
Tourette's photographer?
Yeah, it's at Tourette Shoots.
Tourette Shoots.
Like right here.
Right there, okay. Let's put it right there for everyone there too.
Yeah.
So you want to see some of his work, I think too. I think living, but just enduring, but also prevailing with Tourette's and doing that. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. All right, to everyone out here watching Call Us Daddy, thank you for this very illuminating, educational, inspiring episode with Samuel. If you know anyone that has any symptoms of Tourette's, definitely there's a lot of help. A lot of these things that can be done. No need to get depressed. He is living proof that you can really, really live a happy life right here. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you for the time to come on this show, and hope to see you around, and maybe one day you can take a portrait of me if it's okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Samuel. So if you do like this episode, definitely do like it, share it, subscribe to Takeoff TV. I'm Allan Wu on Call Us Daddy with Samuel, and definitely let your friends know about it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Bye.